I think that as a bookkeeper, it's always valuable for us to reevaluate where can we find clients from. And so I want to take a few minutes and just walk through the mindset of gaining clients. And I also want you to know that the number one way that I gain clients in my bookkeeping physical business that I do is by word of mouth. So I don't want to leave you just with word of mouth because then you're like, well, Vicki, word of mouth. Okay. What does that get me? So what I want to do is in this training, I want to share with you 3 specific areas and places that you can go to that you can find clients. And this may jumpstart your mind to think in different areas, 2 other service areas, because you'll see what I'm talking about when I give you the 3. So I want you to remember that gaining clients is something that no matter what stage we're at in our bookkeeping business, we're always going to need to do. So I want you to not get discouraged when you may lose a client or when your monetary goal, monthly goal is not where you want it to be for your bookkeeping business. When you reevaluate where you're at and you go, I really need to be making $1,000 more or $2,000 more a month. Don't get discouraged. I'm here. Reach out to me, email me, comment inside of the program, reach out to me. Do not lone wolf it. I am here. Okay. I have been in every stage you're in. I promise you. I've had every emotion possible along with building my bookkeeping business that you have had as well. So I am here. I can sympathize with you and walk you through it and coach you through not staying stuck. Okay. So in this training, I want to give you 3 go-to places that are realistic places that you can go and you can find bookkeeping clients. Number 1, the bank, our bank tellers. If you do mainly mobile deposits for any physical checks that you may receive, I challenge you just for a period of time to consistently walk inside of a bank and make a deposit, because those bank tellers behind those counters have contact with all the businesses in that community. Where do small businesses go? They go to their local bank. Now, this can work even in the subdivisions in bigger city areas. There's still banks where people are physically walking in that these tellers have contact with the local small businesses around them. So don't undervalue that monthly task of having to make deposits, or maybe you make deposits for one of your clients. It kind of depends on how we have our workflows set up inside of our bookkeeping businesses. Instead of going through the drive-through, walk into the banks. Build those relationships with the bank tellers, because what you can do, you don't want to solicit, but when you build genuine relationships with these tellers, they will begin to know who you are, and you can have small talk with them. And what do I teach you in all of my trainings about getting clients? If you've been with me for any length of time, we have to tell people we're in business. So when you're depositing checks into a bank account, what better time to be like, I'm a bookkeeper. I need to make my deposit for the day. And by the way, I am in a growth stage and I'm trying to gain new clients. If you know anyone who's interested, needs anybody, just let me know, leave it at that. Don't give them a business card, don't be too pushy, but let them know I'm a small business owner. If they ask for a business card or a contact number, give it to them. But just make small talk and let them know, I'm in the growth stages. I have a couple of clients, or even if you don't have a couple of clients and you're still trying to get that first one, use the words, I'm in business as a bookkeeper and I'm in my growth stage. If you know anyone who needs bookkeeping services, please send them my way. It's doing the ask, making sure we do the ask. Okay. So that's number 1 place. Second place that all of us can find bookkeeping clients is our mechanics for our vehicles. I know that everyone has to go have their car worked on. Do they not? Everyone has to go have their car worked on. Some people do it from home, but the majority of Americans go somewhere to have their cars repaired. So they go somewhere to have tires put on their car. They go somewhere every 6 to 8 weeks to have the oil changed, depending on how much they drive. People go to mechanics all throughout the year. So becoming best friends with your mechanic is a really good idea. And I'm going to share a really funny, quick story with you. My mechanic that I have been going to since my babies were really little. My oldest is a teenager now, but when they were little babies, we've been going to this mechanic forever. And I would take my car, have it repaired, always afraid, always nervous. What's the bill going to be? Until I started building my bookkeeping business. And I'm like, oh, I got this bill covered. We're good. We're good. Because we produce our income. We can determine how much money we're going to make for that month. So we can cover extra expenses like repairs when they come up. So I would drop it off. Did that for several years. Well, one day my husband came home and he's like, you need to call our mechanic tomorrow when you get to, when you start the work or whatever, because he needs a bookkeeper. And I was like, what? He said he needs a bookkeeper. And I told him that you do bookkeeping and that you can do it for him. And I'm like, really? Well, my husband had more confidence in me than I had in myself at that time. I had a couple of bookkeeping clients, but this company was bigger. He had a bigger payroll than I had ever seen with several employees on it. It was several things, sales tax. I had never touched sales tax, several things that I was not confident I could do, but my husband was confident I could do it. And so, needless to say, I reached out to him, and he has been a client of mine for over a decade. And yeah, I do his bookkeeping. So I learned how to do the sales tax, how to do all those employees and payroll. So the lesson is any of our service providers, I'm just giving you specific ones, the mechanic, the bank teller, another one's a hairdresser. Our service providers, we need to make sure that they know we're an accountant and that we're bookkeepers, because my mechanic didn't know I was a bookkeeper. I think he kind of thought I was, but he asked my husband, he's like, does Vicky do bookkeeping type stuff? And so Benji was like, yes, she does. She can do this, this, and this. If he had asked me that at that point in my life, I probably wouldn't have been as energetic about it. But Benji was, and he sealed the deal for me. So I got me a new client, and I'm excited for that because that added over $8,000 to $10,000 in revenue per year for my company and for my business and for my family to flow into my family's income. So mechanic, okay. And then the last place I want to touch on is this is something that I had kind of forgotten about, but I'm beginning to see it come forward a lot more now. And it is lunch and learns or lady nights out or breakfast meetings with other business owners. You used to see this a lot pre everything that happened in 2020. But businesses come together for breakfast or they come together for lunch in chambers, in business associations, in different arenas. Okay. So what I want you to do, I challenge you to find a network community that you can meet with. Now, I was reached out to last year about joining one, and they met every week, early morning. And I'm not a morning person to begin with. And every week, and it was a good 30 to 40-minute drive for me. And I told him, I said, honestly, I would not be able to commit because I just can't do that every week, with the stage I'm at right now with my family, with having kids at home under my roof. I couldn't commit to that. So I said no. But recently I have found one that they're only meeting one day a month. It's right here near me, like a 8-minute drive. And I'm like, yes, I can do that. And so I joined that community so that I could meet. Now, I want to share another example with you that I have seen work beautifully. One of my clients is a realtor. And y'all, this lady is killing it in the real estate industry. She does everything right. She is just a natural realtor. She knows how to nurture the home. She stages it. She has a photographer come in. She nurtures her relationship with the homeowners. Like once they sell the house, it's not done. She stays in contact with them. She just has a beautiful business model set up, and she does really well in the real estate business. One of the things I have watched her do is she has a ladies' night out once a month. It works for her and her husband. Evening events aren't as easy for me because my kids are in sports and stuff. but I'm just giving you examples of what you can be looking for. She has a ladies' night event once a month. And so she brings business owners. She specifically reaches out to the business owners who are her real estate clients and has them come and join so everybody can mingle and make those connections. So she has bookkeepers in there. She has hairstylists in there. She has boutique owners in there, because what is a realtor do? They're another funnel of a lot of small businesses, just like our mechanics and our hairdressers and our bank tellers. They are a source of hundreds of small business owners. So, and I challenge you to, if you don't have one networking opportunity right in front of you, start your own. You could even do a virtual meet and greet. You could do a virtual, if you can't physically go somewhere, if you live in a bigger city and you don't feel like you can really get that small town feel, start a virtual meet and greet for small business owners and have it as a landing pad where you come together once a month, you have a topic that you discuss, and you build those relationships with the people in your life. This is where we're going to find bookkeeping clients. This is how it works. Building and nurturing those relationships. Are these all necessary? No. Lunch and learns are not necessary. If you say, Vicki, I am such an introvert, I don't want to go mingle with other people. Don't do it. Do not do it. I want you to lean into what is natural for you. And so your other options are, you probably go and get your hair done, hairstylist, bank tellers, our mechanics. Just make sure that the people you're doing life with know that you're a bookkeeper, because I promise you, your number one reference is going to be from word of mouth. People who know you, people who have used you as a bookkeeper and can give you a recommendation. So this should be a refresher for us. We always need to know, where can we find clients? And this is a really quick, easy brainstorm idea that we can all do. And hopefully it's going to land you your next bookkeeping client.